Welcome to the first episode of A Pacific Point of View. My name is Carix. With me is Mabinogi. It is a VCS English reunion with a whole new league to talk about. How are we today?
We are doing pretty good. It's back into the league content mines for me, I suppose. It's been a minute. But I can't stop looking at this game for some reason. And
Fiction.
LMS, VCS, PCS, LCP now. Always been a pain close to my heart. So here we are.
Yeah, I feel like every time we try and get away from this.
Yeah.
But let's sort of just crack straight in. The LCP does start today, of course. It starts in about hours. Immediately, I'm just gonna just sort of open with who do you think strongest team in the LCP right now? Is it
Yes!
Team Secret Way?
I don't see realistically how it could be anyone else. Like they haven't changed anything. No one else has really made any big moves that impress me to this level of like, oh, this will definitely overtake everyone else. I mean, DCG was close before, so maybe they've leveled up over the break, but it should still be that same top 2, top 3, I think. Maybe Garm fixed their shit. Who knows?
We can get into this, but I think the eternal problem with Garm is just they need a coach.
Yes.
Pick one up. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll get more into it, but given that we're ACS English alums, the problem with Garm is fairly obvious just from the eye test. Levi was their
yes.
While playing, he was their captain and their coach, and Yaya hasn't been able to that role. Predictable.
Yeah. I feel like so with I guess we'll just go into it. Garm, like they've been such a Levi team for so long since he came back in 2019, and with him going, the sort of captaincy role has sort of been spread across too many players. Like you have like they were pushing the Captain Ki thing, which makes a degree of sense. He's the longest standing member of that team, but we know Taki was definitely brought in for his shot calling capabilities. We know, and his in-game leadership. We know Artemis is quite a vocal player. He likes all his teams before Ghana have been sort of very ADC focused.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of no clear leadership in game, and out of game they don't have a strong supporting staff to sort of overrule and decide for them to say, no, all right, Taki's in charge. No, Kiaya's in charge. They have Null and someone else who I am blanking on, but that like Null and Hype are their coaching staff, and I don't think Null is necessarily a bad coach in terms of game knowledge wise, but I haven't seen anything from like the leadership position. I think they would really need someone like a Ren, from like Saigon Buffalo days to lead that, but he's doing his own thing in VCS with scouting and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm seeing in chat, and if you are in chat, feel free to pipe up. I am watching, so if we see interesting things, we'll certainly engage. All members in GARM speak. That's not good. That's part of the problem. That's too many cooks in the kitchen. It's good that all the players feel empowered to speak up at times, but there does actually need to be like one or two clear voices. Like it could be Taki. It could be Taki. It probably should be Kiaya. Given his pedigree in the league, there just needs to be like a shot caller that actually carries a lot of the decision making and brings things. So it's good that all the players feel like they can speak up, but they shouldn't all be speaking up constantly. That's
you do
a bit of a
you
recipe
do want
for disaster.
Yeah, you do want people like contributing information.
Yeah, of course.
But you need the guy who the buck stops with. That's pretty much the case. And I don't know if Gun has that right now.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be interesting, because I still think the pedigree is there. I think Drathar needs to sort a lot out. It's kind of dogpiling. Yes. It is dogpiling to just be like, oh, it's Drathar, because I know he has been copping a lot. He's stepping into massive shoes, and he's obviously always going to be a downgrade over Levi. Yeah. Like, of course he was. Everyone was going to be. But he was just forcing that Aatrox pick, and I don't think it looked useful for 1 second.
Oh, yeah, Aatrox out in the jungle is a very strange thing for me still to wrap my head around. It just feels like it does everything worse, and if you're not forcing it in a draft angle where it's like we have trying to bait a counter pick, and I don't see much value in it over just a standard, like, Xin Zhao Jarvan, so that sort of tier list that we've seen throughout like first stand and every other region. But if it works, it can work. So like we know Drakthar is a mechanical style of jungler. I think he's really just I think he's the game is not being led through jungle. It's like early game it gets led through support with Intaki based teams. So I think Drakthar's always been like a very him forward player. So I think maybe the split they've had more time to gel sort things out. But in split one it was rough. It was rough.
It was pretty rough. Speaking of pretty rough, let's sort of move on to the elephant in the room. First stand. It was pretty rough. Team Secret Wales had a pretty poor run. Obviously, I think we can all sort of just admit that. It wasn't great. But at the same time, going into the tournament, I think no one thought G2 was as strong as they were. And we were thinking maybe we had a good group. But Marby, do you want to dispel that myth?
Oh god, so my take coming into the tournament was that BA throughout the LCP playoffs was playing like the best support in the world at that point in time. Coming in and G2 looked terrible. They sort of scraped their way through LEC with major collapses from the contenders. So I thought, yeah, hey, this will be good. We can beat G2. We'll lose to BLG and BNK FRX. That's fine.
That was not
that's expected. G2 stepped the fuck up. Holy shit, did they step the fuck up? And Eddie didn't. Eddie, I don't want to put it all on Eddie, even though I just said his name like 25 times. He didn't do very well.
No.
He had a pretty shocking tournament individually. I think everyone else did okay on an individual level. Pun, in particular, I think played on an individual level very well.
Yeah, I mean, he won lanes against like Broken Blade. Like, winning the lane.
His toe also had very good early games, but we saw the same things out of his toe that we always see. He gets very hyphy, he overextends alongside Dire, and there were lots of times where there's like, oh, we're getting a lead and we've thrown it. We've just tossed it aside, and then we're losing, and then we have a really good team fight, and we get back into it, and then we have another team fight immediately afterwards where Eddie dies instantly, and we lose, and the game's over. Yeah, and so not good.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what was happening. It's one of those things where it was really easy. Every game you could point to pretty much the exact moment where everything went wrong.
Yes.
I think what gave me a bit of hope is it wasn't in the past when VCS in particular, particularly non-GARM VCS, have gone to international. They just get clobbered in lanes, and then 15k down at 20 minutes, and you obviously lose from there. I don't think that happened. Maybe one or two games. I'll admit I was watching these games at 5 a.m. my time, so maybe some of them blurred together a little bit. I don't think that was really what was happening. It does give me a little bit of hope for Worlds. I mean, obviously that's still a long way away. MSI as well. That maybe we can look a little bit better. We've gone international. We've been under the big lights once now. Team Secret Wales, if they are the MSI representative, because I don't think that's guaranteed by any means. They obviously aren't going to be the only representative regardless.
Yeah.
I think we should perform a fair bit better, and also maybe we don't get grouped with, like, just death.
Yeah, it would be nice to not get grouped with both finalists and Korea. It should be a little bit easier this time. We should hopefully get to see like NA or CBLOL. Like those are our level.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Is like I saw Raz tweeted out like I think CBLOL's a little bit ahead of LCP at the moment, and like look, he's welcome to the take. I like Raz, but I think he's wrong.
I
like
can't. I can't comment. I haven't watched CBLOL.
I also haven't watched a lot of CBLOL. I'm not coming into it with any expertise on CBLOL. I've watched a little bit. It's a fun region. I like CBLOL quite a lot, but I just don't think you can take that takeaway from a first stand when we didn't play each other.
That's always the problem. That's always
That's like that's the problem,
group
right?
systems, right?
If the take is I think LCP looked worse and CBLOL looked better than they have previously, I completely agree. But we didn't play each other. Like I don't know. But I do love Raz, so don't take that as shade by any means.
We love Raz in this household and all other households.
I also
He's
just
great
really
guy.
like CBLOL. Like I hope CBLOL does get way better. I just hope we stay that little bit ahead of them. We'll be the best region and they can be second best. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We are all fine for second best Brazil.
Yeah.
So, I had a point and I lost it. I'm sorry.
We'll sort of go back to the domestics then. I think we could spend more time on first stand, but I think we sort of mostly gotten through it. Like that's just the reality of a pretty unsuccessful tournament. There's only so much you can take away. Going back to the domestic league, I think the big thing to talk about is MVK. Have you seen their big moves?
I've seen their moves. Big is a word you could use. Numerous in some respects, but not exciting.
Really?
No, I don't like. Srilong inspires no confidence. Chica inspires no confidence. Literally a guy called NPC. And no, I'm sorry. Like Hockey's kind of interesting for me as a long-time VCS head because he's been floating around for a while. He's been floating around in the B tier for a while, like never quite pushing over. But they basically just promoted their academy roster. And I guess Stellar and NPC are going to share time with Kratos and Guri. And SOFM as still listed as player. So, no idea.
I'll be real, I don't think SOFM should play. I know that's like heresy. I know that's like actual heresy, but the team gets nothing out of him just like randomly summing himself in every now and then. Even though he looked pretty good when he was playing. I just think he just needs to exist as like a personality and like
he should be taking on the like TK role that TK does for Garm. He's the owner. He should just be out there getting people hyped, being like, "Hey, I'm SOFM. Remember me? I built Redemption."
He did build Redemption a lot.
He did build.
And Knight's Vow. He really liked both of those. Yeah, look, I don't necessarily think this gets MVK like to be a deep playoff runner, but do we think it might get them out of relegation?
Out of relegation. Well, it won't get them out of regional relegation because they are the guest team and they will place below the other Vietnamese guest team that is Secret Wales. But will it get them out of the bottom tier? I think so. Their main competition is DFM still.
Yeah.
So DFM, I think they made. I don't know if necessarily know if they made upgrades. Like Fisher instead of Keen is. I think Fish is an upgrade, but getting Woody in instead of Gang, I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think Gang was one of the better players, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, he retired. What are you gonna do?
It's not their fault.
Then it becomes language because Woody's Taiwanese. Everyone else is gonna be speaking a mix of Japanese and Korean. I guess they could try and communicate in English as a communal shared language, but I would have concerns about how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Language is always really hard. I think it's one of the biggest obstacles in LCP, and obviously the Asian regions in general. You often have, LPL struggles with it when they have just a Korean-speaking player and stuff. There obviously are workarounds, but they're not super consistent. We'll just have to see how it goes. Unfortunately for DFM, I just don't think it gets them out of last. It would take a collapse from another team. It would take
Yeah.
MVK just not working because we don't really know about MVK. We can only guess. Uh, sort of, what team do we want to go to next? Who do you have your eye on?
Uh, that's the thing. We have not. But those are the two that have the big roster changes.
Yeah, other than that, it's like I think CFO is interesting. Like the second split with the sort of new at CFO. I think they were on an uptick towards the end of last split.
I guess we could. Yeah, I guess we'll go there, but because it really is a case of 2274 was like not good.
Yeah.
And them getting knocked out by Ground Zero in particular with Orca, where they had signed Orca for like 3 days.
Yeah, a little bit rough.
That was real rough. And Shadow and Pyongyang, I don't think have been fantastic. Shadow can be good. We know Shadow can be good on obviously on it was FPX before he moved to BLG.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, he would look really great on FPX. He looked okay on BLG, but BLG was so much of a dumpster fire last year, internally, that I'm not going to hold that too much against him. And then but here he's not really syncing up very well. I don't think Pyongyang has worked well at all. I think I was a super wild pickup. Because Pyongyang was middling in Challenger.
Yeah. Yeah. He also doesn't speak super great Chinese, from my understanding.
No.
So it's also adding a bit of a communication issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I struggle as, you know, an LCP fan to just write CFO off, but I don't know if I'm not. We will get to sort of calling a ladder, but not doing that right now. But I can't see them getting out of like fourth.
Yeah, like
That's
I think
the tier, right?
Yeah, that's like it depends. I guess they can potentially beat, like, to get fourth, they'd have to just be better than, like, I guess Ground Zero or SoftBank, and that's doable.
That's doable. I would put them with Garm. Like I think Garm and CFO are
Yeah.
third and fourth. Like they could definitely swap order.
Yeah, I think I think more or less I think that's pretty much accurate. SoftBank went on a tear last playoffs. In terms of like they played really well. They beat Gown, they beat Ground Zero, they took DCG to 5 games. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's their consistent level. Maybe it is now, but if they keep turning up on playoffs like that again, then we might just see a repeat and they end up 5-6 again. Because I think I think CFO, like, 2274 is just young. He could get better. There's like Woody being signed by DFM actually fucks CFO so hard, because I would have been like, Woody's good enough. Like I shat on Woody all of last year, but he is good enough to be better than 2274. And Rest is still one of the top lane goats of LCP of Taiwan. Doggo's still a fantastic player. Shadow's great. Pyongyang is serviceable. But that's a clear, easy upgrade, but you got beat to the punch, unfortunately. So I think no changes.
I mean,
Hopefully a little bit more time to synergize.
Yeah, look, I think that's like what they've talked about behind the scenes, is that it's just we need time.
And I trust Charlie as a coach.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I just trust the org. I think they've shown that they do know what they're doing. It does seem like they've been beaten to the punch on 2 signings. Woody, I certainly agree on, and like Orca, it's really obvious. Like you had him, and then you lost to him. Don't do that. That was really, really silly.
What happened there, man? That's just insane.
But obviously, I mean, like, it happens. Like, what are you gonna do? I guess let's stay in that ballpark and let's like sort of talk about the Hawks. Was that just a flash in the pan, or are they actually that good? I think it's hard to know.
I so from their like regular season performance, like they were very much like they were kind of struggling. They like lost to, I mean, they beat the teams below them except, and then they got a win over Ground Zero. Um, I think it was very. I did not expect them to storm through GAM, but they did.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I don't think Garm looked good, frankly.
and with Arya and Evie, Abby and Marvel, I think that's a very. I think it can be like considered a reasonable expectation of form, because these are all solid players. Vista as well is actually quite good. The only like player on them on Hawks I'm like a little bit suspect on is Van, but he has clearly shown he's competent enough for the domestic level. And like Eddie and Ari were on that DFM run back in 21, was it? Where they went and beat C9 and like took a game off. I don't remember. I don't remember. They did really well. They beat Beyond Gaming. I remember that. So Doggo has trauma there. But that so like there's very good competent players. They've got probably the two best active Japanese players in that are going with Ebby and Marvel. So I can't see them making any real upgrades outside of jungle anytime soon. And I think they've picked up Corgi, picking up Taiwanese coaches. This is the trick, guys. Taiwan has the best coaches in LCP. Just know this.
Keep picking them up. That's what Team Secret Team just picked up.
Keep picking them up.
Like,
exactly.
Bite the bullet. Like, they're the best coaches, and coaching has always been where like LJL and VCS and stuff were behind. Was we just didn't have good enough coaches outside of like Ren, I suppose, in VCS. Ren was actually a really good coach.
I think
and obviously Hanke was the goat.
Hype was okay.
Yeah, true. But
wasn't as good as very few. So I think SoftBank might actually be able to continue their form and keep that sort of third spot pretty well under wraps. Flying Oyster's not going. Flying Oyster's not getting that much better. I think they've got a very heavy ceiling or very low ceiling on them, and I mean Ground Zero. I think Ground Zero and Hawks are the Ground Zero, Hawks, and Garm are definitely in that fight for third. Garm has a lot of issues to work out, but their ceiling should be much higher. Ground Zero, I think, similarly have a higher ceiling, but they do have low.
I mean, let's sort of save Ground Zero because we haven't really talked about them yet.
Okay.
Because I'm sort of want to, once we sort of briefly talk about every team, I do want to sort of get what we think the final ladder will be. But I mean, if we don't have anything more to say about, because I think the Hawks are hard to. It's hard to say that they're going to finish any lower because I just don't think any of the teams below them necessarily got much better. I think Garm has a higher ceiling, but they also have a much lower floor, as we saw. Like when Garm plays at their floor, it's not good. They don't look good when they're at their floor, and they need to actually play up higher, but we've been over that. So let's talk about Ground Zero, the honorary OS team, as we've been calling them. Obviously, they are not an OS team. Had a really good end to last split. Obviously, didn't get over the line for first end, but like did really well.
Yeah, I think it was a really good, like coming to like as they all came together, like for a first split. Pretty much none of these players played together before, I think Husa and Shun have once on a team a few years ago, but that's like this team is completely new. No, like they didn't come into the league with a pre-existing roster like DCG did. But Ijan's like, but they're all good players. They are all such good players, and I think with a bit more time, which they've now got, I think they're gonna be just firing. I think Ground Zero is really good. Jimmy's kind of getting redeemed after the disaster that was Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
I think Ujang, Fusha, and Shun are just fantastic. And yeah, I've got very little extra to add to that.
I just think they look
I
good.
feel like
right?
I should have more, but again, we'll have way more to talk about next week.
Yeah, that's the
when we
thing.
have games.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is all just predictions, and it's one of those things where the league just didn't change very much. Like a couple of like MVK obviously had massive changes. Then there was like little changes here and there, but I don't see why GC prior to watching any games, it's hard to rank them any higher or lower. It's just like, yeah, they'll probably be in that 5th, 6th bracket again, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe they'll be 4th. They could definitely jump up. I like them.
Look, they will potentially. They have a much higher chance of doing better than their owners' own struggles internationally. The Australian cricket team kind of got dog walked in the T20.
Who cares about T20?
Yeah, Jai, what are you doing, buddy? Bring it, come on. If we gotta just hope Ground Zero's line does not follow that route.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That's my analysis, I guess. Don't be like Jai.
Oh man. So Relove DCG is the team we haven't talked about. And I think they're really hard to talk about because they're clearly the second best team in the league, right?
Yes.
I think we agree on that.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know how it's a weird argument, maybe a weird hill to die on, but like, why?
The only thing that like makes it feel like wrong is their last showing was so bad.
True.
Holy crap, their finals performance was abysmal. But like, I think all these players are good. Are all competent players. They've all played together for a long time. Chelsea is a Flash Wolves alumni. I have to respect. But at the same time, I think they've definitely got a ceiling, and I think they might have hit their ceiling. And I think they might be one of those teams that starts the year strong and sort of slowly slips. Because I don't know. I feel like if I look across the roles of them, I can go to Florin's good, but these players have definitely shown to be better in the past, in the past really. And I know they can get that level again. Pop 9, Hongswoo, Hongshu. Yeah. Yeah.
Like these are definitely not like we say but we're sort of still talking about them as the second best team. I think it's just that I don't. Again, the only team I can see significantly moving up is if Garm suddenly has it together. Like if Garm comes into this split and they've solved something behind the scenes and the magic is there, they could win the split just because they always beat Team Secret because domestic matchups.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a better team than Team Secret by any means, but
there's no Levi anymore.
True, there's no Levi, so the magic is kind of
gone.
But I don't
be like
Relove DCG's moving down.
Yeah, I also be like when I'm like Hongshu is meh. I have to say as a whole, LCP mid is meh.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Like mid,
we are talking about a Vietnamese player as possibly the best mid laner in the league. Like it's just not good. It's just not a good role.
Look, And like we're talking about the best mid laner being Vietnamese. In June, we have a very high chance of getting another Vietnamese mid laner as the best mid laner. He's coming. We have to say it. He's coming.
He is coming.
But unfortunately, not in time for this split. So,
do we think someone picks him up?
I think Chica is just sitting there as the chair warmer right now.
Yeah.
I think MVK. I think if you're MVK, you're just like you'd be stupid not to. My crackpot theory would be Gam getting rid of Eris for him, but this is because Bia. Oh no, sorry, not Bia. Bia's on Wales.
Yeah.
But Artemis and Drakthar have both played with Glory before.
Yeah, we should for maybe people who aren't as nose to the ground on VCS, we're talking about Glory. He's banned at the moment. He was caught up in the match fixing stuff. He wasn't one of the really bad boys, but he was caught up in it. He's back in June, and he is clearly the best mid laner VCS has ever produced.
He went to Worlds in 2023 on Team Wales and just kind of rocked everyone in the group until the Garm counter came in. But in like playing, so like he beat BDS, he beat the LEC team. That was great. And then yeah, everything just VCS match fixing scandal.
Yeah, the less we say, the better, right?
Yeah.
That was a very, very painful time as VCS lovers. But yeah, okay, so we've sort of gone through every team, so I guess it's time to put a ladder together. Team Secret Wales #1. Do we both agree? Yep.
I feel you kind of have to.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Changes.
Yep, they haven't changed anything. They were pretty clearly #1 last split. Really love DCG too. No moving up or down on that.
I would say very much yes. Like they went 6-1 in regular season last time. They were second place in the playoffs. They looked it got a little bit touch and go against SoftBank, but
also we should actually clarify. I'm talking about end of split, end of regular split. So before playoffs, because I actually do think those are potentially quite different.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Then I think they should be pretty comfortably second.
Yep. Third gets a little bit harder. Who are you going third? End of split, not playoffs. End of regular split.
I would say Ground Zero as
Ground
my
Zero
third
bit of my
end of the regular
split. All right.
So my reasoning is thus: at the end of the regular split last time, like there was like one series difference between GAM, Ground Zero, CTBC Flying Oyster, and Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks.
Yeah.
The one series difference: Ground Zero have had a lot more time to gel, and they were sort of on the up and up. SoftBank has also been on the up and up, but I just have a little bit more faith in Ground Zero's up and up across the round robin.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna also throw a bit of a scribble. I think it'll be Garm.
Okay.
I don't know. I just can't stop having faith in this team. I think Kiaya calls to me like a siren. I think they will have a pretty good regular split. I think it'll be playoffs where they fall apart again.
Okay.
Unfortunately, fourth, because the fourth is where I would put Ground Zero.
I think I'm gonna go with Hawks.
Okay.
I think much the same reason. Bit of an up and up. I think it just puts Ground Zero slightly ahead. A
lot of these are super close.
Yeah. I think this like third through fifth, sixth.
Third through sixth is super close.
Third through fifth is really close. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got Hawks there. I've got Ground Zero. Fifth.
Gum.
Garm for you. It's CFO for
Gum.
me.
I think Gum are just. I think Gum are just pound for pound better players. I think. I think the only roles that CFO can sort of stand ahead in are like top and ADC, but then you're up against Kiara and Artemis, who are also really fucking good.
Well, Kiai was pretty shit
So
last split, but let's hope. Like, he
true,
obviously that's not his real
yes,
level.
yeah, but yeah. So like, I think Rest can be better than Kiara. I think Doggo can be better than Artemis, but I also know that these two can be better than the other. That it can go the other way. So, I think pound for pound better, just better players, but it comes down to the Chowie factor.
Mm-hmm.
Does Chowie make this team? Does Chowie make this team better?
Yeah, exactly. I think the interesting thing is that you've got CFO in sixth. Then I assume.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's why I've got the Hawks there because I think the Hawks. I think it will be similar to last split, where if they make a run, it'll be a run in playoffs.
Yeah. That's completely fair.
CFO in sixth.
I have no faith in 2274 and Peng Young, man. I think 2274 being as bad as he is means Doggo is just so much worse. Because he can't get those lane leads and transfer them through. And Peng Young is just not. Peng Young just feels disconnected from the rest of the team, and I don't think he has enough capacity to play out better. So again, it can shift if Charlie works his magic. He can coach this team into being better than the sum of its parts. But I think some of those parts are just dragging it right down.
Yeah, look, I think the thing to say is that I think first and second are pretty locked. Third through sixth are super malleable for me. Like, on a good day, I think CFO could be third. On a bad day, they could be sixth. And then I think there's a pretty big drop to seventh. I have MVK. Mostly because I just have absolutely no faith in DFM. I think DFM is a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, I think by promoting the whole roster together, you've got like a bit of synergy built in for MVK. That's I think will keep them going okay. Yeah, I think I just don't. I don't have faith in DFM. Kakun's been doing okay for a role swap.
Yeah, he's been okay.
He was very much kind of given the short end of the stick last year, having to randomly fill in because Udapon decided to take a walk. But I think you've lost Gang, who was a really big part of DFM, a big voice for the team. Woody is a decent player, but he's not gonna be as able to mix with the team. Due to language. Fish is coming in and we'll have to learn another language again.
Yeah, I think that's like really rough.
Like he's been in the LPL and back before, so he's probably going to be a little bit easier to adjust than someone who's never gone across before. But
it just like
it's like upgrade, but it's an upgrade over Kane, but it's not enough. You're still working with.
I just think the absolute worst person to not have really spot on communication is your jungler and your support.
Well, Kane's mid lane. Fish is mid lane.
Well, sorry, I was talking about Woody.
Oh yeah. Woody is.
Yeah, I think Fisher. I look. He might take a little bit to build synergy, and that's always like a factor. But I'm not so worried about him slotting in. I just don't think he's a massive upgrade, right? Like, I think he's an upgrade, but not a massive
Yeah.
one. While I think Woody is just, he's a good player, right? Like, Woody is a very storied, he's got a lot of pedigree as a player, but he just doesn't speak the language, right? Like, that's the tricky thing.
Alright.
He just has to learn to communicate, which is really hard as a support because you got to talk a lot.
I might have to slag off Woody a little bit because
Okay.
I think Woody has only been good when he's been playing with Junja. I think he has been Junja's puppet. I think he has had his success purely as Junja's puppet. Like when he moved on to when Junja left and Casa came in,
Yeah.
and like, look, I'm gonna admit, I'm a Casa fan. I'm a Casa fangirl. You just saw Woody drop. Like, Casa does not control his supports. Like, Casa does not lead his supports around. His success has been with players like Ming, with Sword Art, right? The only, like, time he's been playing with the support that, like, he's had success with the support that wasn't actually fantastic was Yuyanju on Top Esports. And even then, you're playing alongside Knight and Jackie Love. So Jackie Love gets buffed for playing with a bad support. So
yeah, sure.
It's just, I think Woody got so used to being like in this system where mid jungle would just win because Maple and Junja were so much better than the rest of the league.
Yeah.
He, as soon as there was competition, he just crumbled. He wasn't able to win lane with Betty anymore. He wasn't able to make map rotations behind Junja. And he spent a lot of last year just running it down.
Okay, so number one Woody hater, Mabinogi.
Although I will add a slight little caveat in his defense, he wasn't getting paid, so very nice.
I mean, that doesn't help. Yeah, like, oh man, these regions, man, sort it out. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, look, I think, DFM. I just maybe look, they could come 7th. MVK is the biggest question mark in the league. I don't think that question mark could get them any higher than maybe 5th, even if everything goes absolutely as well as possible. I think their absolute ceiling is 5th or 6th. I
think they're very heavily capped on player ability.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Long, Guri, Chica, those aren't players that inspire confidence.
Yeah.
They do not spark joy.
Exactly. I completely agree. I think, 7th MVK, 8th DFM for me. And then I guess the last question that we'll sort of contend with before we wrap it up for this first episode, who goes to MSI? Because I think Team Secret Wales, hard to imagine them not going, even because with the championship points, the slot, so just for those that maybe don't know, winner of the split goes, and then it's championship points for the second. So it's hard for Team Secret Wales not to go.
Yeah,
they'd have to really blow up.
Yeah, Team Secret Wales should be getting in on points, if nothing else. And then, oh man, I mean, like the drop off between like 2nd and 3rd points from last split is actually still huge. So like DCG has 28, Hawks have 12. So I think based on this point system, I think it's just Team Secret and DCG, right?
I think that's
like SoftBank Hawks would have to make a pretty sizable run.
They'd have to win the split.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the thing is I think for anyone not named Team Secret Wales and Relove DCG to go, they have to win the split. So it's just like, do you think anyone else is going to make a massive upset run? And I don't. Unfortunately, I do think the finals is going to be Team Secret Wales versus DCG again.
Let's hope it's more like the upper bracket finals than the real finals.
Yeah, let's hope it's maybe a little bit closer this time. Maybe Team Secret Wales won't win. Maybe. I would certainly.
I mean, I want them to win.
I want them to win. But I want them to win 5 games.
Yeah, I would like it to be a close finals. Even though I am here for my boys Pun and B, I think these two are great players. I've always liked these players.
Exactly. But yeah, so before we go, if anyone is in chat has any sort of questions, we go. I haven't seen anything super.
Otherwise, this is going to be a little short.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's the pre-split, it's the pre-split podcast. It's just we have a lot more to talk about when there are actually games to go over. There's only so much we can talk about just off like predictions, unfortunately, because there wasn't a huge amount of changes. We could just predict today's games. Because I'm not casting today, so I'm not giving anything up. Do go tune in. It's in about 2.5 hours. LCP will be back. It will be Pike and Logan. So go give them some support with the new starting time, starting at 8 p.m. for them. Have fun with that one, guys. Ground Zero vs DFM. Pretty easy Ground Zero tour.
Yeah. Today's games are very
one-sided, unfortunately. Yeah. I sort of got the schedule and was like, oh, really? I'm not casting the opening day, and then looked at the games and went, okay, that's fine.
That's all right.
I don't mind. I'll do next Saturday.
That's good. Then, because the other ones are DCG and MVK. DCG should be another 2-0, right?
Yeah, it should just be 2-0.
Yeah. If you're on Sunday, you can skip, but I'll just throw mine for.
I am on Sunday, but I don't care. That's you get my you get a preview of what I'm going to say on LCP if you watch our podcast.
All right, it's SoftBank Hawks versus.
It's actually a really good game.
That will be closer, but 2-1 SoftBank.
Yeah, I think I'll also go 2-1 SoftBank. I will just put the caveat that their CFO just has the possibility that they are really good.
Yeah.
But we will kind of know after game one.
Yeah.
Right? Like they might just look ridiculously good and then it's like, okay, like CFO like gonna come second in the split or something. Because the magic has happened. Then Secret Wales vs. Garm. Now, before we say anything, a smart man, a smart bettor says 2-0 Team Secret Wales. Correct? But we're both VCS English alum. So I don't think either of us are going to say that.
No Levi.
There is no Levi, but there is still Kiaya. It could have rubbed off.
This is not the gum I know. That is an unfortunate hand motion.
While saying rubbed off as well.
Yes. I think it's 2-0 Team Secret Wales. I think the source is gone. No Levi. 2-0 in split one. Yeah, I think a little bit of extra practice on the first stand stage. Just it's all points towards Team Secret Wales 2-0.
I'm saying 2-1 Team Secret Wales. I don't know. I have to believe that Kiaya can pull something out. Like I don't know what it is. There's nothing analytical going on in the prediction. I just think, I don't know, it's Garm. I can't let it go. I can't let go of Kiaya being the best top laner in the league, even though he's clearly not anymore.
No, it's the burden of IGL.
Yeah, I just don't think he's the player to do it. Like, and he doesn't have to be. I think, like,
no, I don't think he's leader. I don't think he is.
He's just not that guy, and that's fine. He's never been that guy.
He's not that guy. He is the dog that you make do the dirty work. He's the guy you make him play mid lane because you've picked up Zeros.
Yeah.
So that's just his role. That's all he does. That's what he's there to do, and he does that very well.
Yeah.
I think this team just needs to look less like Gam and more like Cerberus.
A little bit. Also, like, someone hire Hunke. He was, like, working. I don't know.
Yeah.
Need a coach for Garm. But yeah, I think we will sort of just wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for tuning in to this first episode of A Pacific Point of View. we'll have a lot more to talk about next week when there's games to go over. When there's just a little bit more meat on the bone. But yeah, my name has been Carix. With me has been Mabinogi. Any last words?
Tune into the games.
Yeah, as I said, in about 2 and a bit hours. Tune in.
Yeah, tune in. Don't worry about LCK. Don't worry about LCK.
Yeah, who cares about LCK? Like, oh, they're really good. Whatever.
LPL 1 first stand. It's
whatever.
like they're good or something.
All right, we'll see you guys next week at about the same time. See you then. Have fun.